Going on, everybody? Chooch here. Happy Sunday. Hope everybody's having a good day, kicking back, enjoying themselves, doing something. I'm just watching the Phillies, and I wanted to jump in with a couple of thoughts I had here for a minute. Basically, I've been talking around, and through that wonderful platform of social media and the great communication we're able to have. Last night I was able to see Corey Walton and company in the CLC do a Zoom meeting that had hundreds of people in the room, and Corey did a good amount of the talking, and that man, it sounds very determined that he and James Henry and the CLC people will be the ones in power come the next election. I'm not sure if that's going to come to fruition. It certainly sounds like something a lot better than what we've been dealing with. I will decide, at a future point who I, will be putting my confidence in. At this point, I still, I have to have a lot of observing to do and a lot more listening to do. But I did like what I seen last night. It's, to say that they want to, stop the harassment and stop the bad rat evaluations. And so that's what made me segue into talking about with that particular subject is rat evaluations and 99 walks and adjustments. There's a lot to be said there about injustices and corruption and, uneven things being broken up between certain carriers, depending upon who they are in cahoots with. And, again, I want nothing but fair processes done. I don't look for any, to say, oh, I've been here longer, so I should have less than that person. I said, just make it fair. Hey, rats are supposed to be 8 hours, make them 8 hours. But, unfortunately, if you've been here a good long time, you see how, it doesn't work out all that well. And sometimes, you get the union can step in and fight for you, level things out, make things right. But what I'm hearing and what I'm seeing on my own turf and obviously through my network of friends and carriers amongst me and other places around the country, the 99 walks, first things first, they're being done in LLVs. Because a Metris cannot hold the jump seat where the route observer, manager, person brought from the outside is supposed to sit and do their observation. So that in itself right there is a problem for me because if you worked in an LLV for years and then you were, unfortunately put into the Metris, and again, I say unfortunately because somebody who's been in an LLV for a long time is used to an LLV. My disregarding the heat and the cold and all that. I said I know the Metris has air conditioning. I know the Metris has a radio and some more modern amenities, but it's not efficient in terms of doing carrier work. The LLV is efficient. Post office knows this. Carriers know this. And unfortunately, they're putting carriers in the LLVs on the 99 walk days. Now, if sometimes, you hear people say, the 99 walks don't mean shit, they're going to do whatever they want, however they want. Well, I said in this case, that doesn't really, that doesn't hold true to me to believe that, again, they know what that truck is compared to what the Metris is. Metris takes longer, plain and simple. I went out when we first I was offered a Metris to try out, and I went out with it one day and I said, this is so far worse than an LLV. I said, yeah, it's nice to have a cold air conditioner, but other than that, I said, it's completely, I couldn't tolerate it. Like the idea that I couldn't reach to the back and grab stuff if I needed it, that I had to swing open doors and I had to oh, wait a minute, I'm going to hit the door on a mailbox post because I'm right in front of the mailbox, and you can slide the LLV door open. So again, I think I mulled through all the details of saying why, doing the walks in the Metris would be a whole different world and a whole different time than doing it in the LLV. And and again, I've seen this is happening, all over the place at this point. So, to be aware of how that's working out for you, if you're having an adjustment or if you're having an addition to your route, or if you're having a cut to your route, that it all, it's done in fairness and times are accounted for properly. Now, the other thing is that the observers, if everyone doesn't know at this point, their job in that truck is to observe you, not to supervise you. The only time they are supposed to really say anything to you is a question about like a vacancy for your route. They are supposed to be supervising you, they're supposed to not be supervising you. They are supposed to keep their mouth shut unless you are having a safety violation or issue. They can open their mouth and say, this is an unsafe practice. We have to do this way instead. They're not supposed to be telling you ways to be more efficient. They're not supposed to be telling you how to handle your mail. You are told to go out there and do it exactly the way you always do it. And that's it. So when people start yapping to you about, oh, you could be doing this way, this might be a better this way, that's not part of the deal. And that's where you can reach out to your union at that moment, if you choose to, if you don't like the way the walk is going, and we can start that all over again. I know nobody wants to have to keep going out there and doing stuff like that, but that is just the long and short of it. To say that that's been done to me before, and I'm just like, it's my route. And I'll be doing it the way I choose, because that's how we spoke to this. We spoke to this in the beginning of the meeting, and yeah, now you're talking to me and making suggestions. So you're breaking the rules. You're breaking the protocol. And this is what the post office does. This is what they try and do, and it's manipulative. And it's just something that really makes you want to put your hand through the wall sometimes. But at the same time, like I said, know your rules, know your regulations, and, they question you, question them back and say, it says here that you're not supposed to supervise me. So it's a very simple thing, and I know it's happening, and I know that, people might feel intimidated to say something like they're going to get in trouble. No, you're just doing your job. You're told to do your job. They're supposed to do their job, and if they're not doing theirs the way they're supposed to be, then you can tell them, hey, that's not the way it works. So